All right. Hi, y'all. I'm here in a northern Rockies state, and I'm here in ranch land and also mountains. There's mountains ringing the area. My name is Shane Brodie. I've been traveling around the country talking to trans, gender nonconforming, non-binary, intersex, agendered, etc. people. You know, many people under kind of the large trans umbrella. Also some allies as well as parents, which has been pretty cool. There's a lot of parents that are really fired up about what's going on politically in our country, and I was very glad to talk with them. And today I have a couple of guests, and they're going to introduce themselves in whatever way they feel comfortable.
I'm Cade.
All right.
I'm Cord.
All right. And do you want to maybe talk about where you live here? Like, I'm assuming that this is kind of a ranch. There are several outhouses here, as well as outbuildings, as well as this is probably the biggest log cabin I've ever been in, and it's so beautiful, all wood. You know. Are you from here?
Not originally.
Okay.
Yeah, we were originally from this state, but different location.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we moved here 35 years ago
to
this ranch.
Yeah, it's rather glorious around here. It's so beautiful. Yeah. How about you?
Well, moved right along.
Right. Are you siblings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Identical twins.
Okay. Oh, identical twins. Okay. And did your family buy this ranch, or did you purchase it?
It was family because we traded in property that we originally had to get this ranch.
Okay.
So it's a family venture, really.
Okay. And where you were living before, were you also ranchers back then?
No.
Okay.
We ran boarding stables and small pet care business.
Okay.
Always working with animals.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed going around your house a little bit. There's a lot of horse tack, and as well as saddles. There's pictures of horses everywhere of different kinds, drawings and paintings and different things. And then there's a bunch of awards back there too, ribbons and, medal awards.
Trophies.
Yeah, trophies and stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Where we lived before, that was down in Florida, and we used to show our horses.
Okay.
And so those were awards from the horse shows that we went to.
Okay. Would those be like a state fair kind of situations?
They were open shows, but also breed-specific shows.
Okay. So what kind of horses did you show?
Appaloosa.
Appaloosa. Okay. How would you describe Appaloosa? Because I've seen a lot of horses recently, going through the Rocky Mountain states here, and I know nothing about them. So if you were to describe an Appaloosa to me, how would you describe it?
They're really a stock horse, like a quarter horse, but the breeding is all about color. Mm-hmm. And so you can get leopard Appaloosas, you can get horses blanketed.
And that has to do with the spotting?
Yeah, the spotting.
The pattern.
The leopard Appaloosa, it looks like a white horse with a bunch of different sizes of spots. And the blanketed horse will have white hips, even maybe all the way up to the withers, with spots. Generally, they have some that they call snow-capped spots, which is hardly any spots, just the big white blanket.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I did see in this particular state, in the more southern part, I saw some horses that were multiple color, like kind of the same kind of patches size-wise, but multiple colors, like brown and black and white. Do you know what kind of horse that might be?
Those were probably paints.
Paints, okay.
Horses, yeah.
Do you have any experience with that, or mostly Appaloosas?
We've trained them, but we haven't owned them.
Okay. So besides showing horses, which has to do with like I guess their physicality, their physique, how beautiful they are, and that sort of thing, and their musculature and their bone structure. What also have you done with horses? You just mentioned training. So what kind of training were you doing?
Western, just training to be ridden.
Okay.
And we did what was called a trail class, and it was putting your horse through obstacles. Like they have obstacles for dogs, but it's also an obstacle course for horses.
Okay, so like water features and fences and stuff like hedges. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all kinds of
Yeah.
bridges.
Yeah, I would think that would be very dangerous to jump those kinds of things.
Well, they're usually quite low for
Okay.
the trail
For the
class.
trail class.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I expect that probably you grew up doing this since you were really little. When was your first experience with horses?
Oh my gosh.
Like when you were super little?
Yeah, we were like
2 years old or something?
we were
babies?
probably riding a friend's horse when we were about 5.
Okay.
5 and 6. And then we got our first horse for ourselves. Our parents got us when we were 8, going on 9, I think.
Okay.
So, and we haven't been without horses since.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
always had horses.
Yeah.
Where are your horses now? Because I would like to see them.
They're
Out in the pasture.
Okay.
I don't know where they were in that pasture. But
Okay. I did, as I was driving up, I did see some goats, I believe. Is that true? Are there
no,
goats?
we don't have any
No.
goats.
Okay.
We'd like goats.
Okay, maybe.
Coyotes would have feed them.
Okay. What was I seeing then? Maybe.
Cow.
Yeah, maybe.
Calf.
Maybe.
We have cows too.
Cows with calves, yeah. That's probably okay.
Must be our cousin.
Okay. That's funny. That's funny. Maybe it was maybe it was one of your shepherd dogs because they're kind of fuzzy and
It was
about
probably
the
the
same
dogs
time.
that took
Yeah.
off running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because some of these sheepdogs kind of look like sheep. Or maybe that's where I'm getting it.
That probably was Lariat. No, that looked like the sheep.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
funny. Speaking of that, you have quite a few dogs. Why do you have so many dogs?
Because we like dogs.
Okay.
It's a habit.
Yeah.
We generally have had border collies.
Okay.
And they've
those are working dogs.
Yeah,
Very
and
smart.
they're real
The
good with
cows.
herding sheep, of course, but also cattle.
Okay.
And so we've had border collies for many, many years.
Okay.
And then in the last 5 years, probably, we ended up getting a Belgian Malinois crossed with a
McNabb.
which is McNabb is a lot like a border collie.
Okay.
Some of the same lines.
Okay.
But it was a guy a rancher down the road, had a female Belgian Malinois and had just gotten a McNabb pup, and he was going to take care of getting them spayed and neutered and everything. But
Whoops.
But he ended up with a bunch of puppies.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's how I got my dog as well. Yeah, it was a whoops.
so he had called us up and asked us if we wanted a puppy, and
Okay.
it's hard to say no.
I know, especially when you have such a big place, and a huge
And it was
house.
free.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I know. Up in Alaska, sometimes they'll sell mixed breed puppies for like up to $2,000, and it's like, yeah, I know. It's like shocking. It's like what? Yeah. So I was wondering, did you do any riding or that sort of thing where you were winning trophies? Because there's a lot of trophies back there.
Yeah, it has mostly confirmation trophies,
Halter classes.
halter classes.
What does that mean?
It was the way the horse is put together.
Okay.
Whether they're
Confirmation.
perfectly put together.
Okay.
Straight legs,
Okay.
good neck.
And I'm assuming that's for breeding purposes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were raising our Appaloosas. We have had our own stallion, and so we were showing a lot with
Okay.
the
For stud surfaces.
Yeah, we weren't showing him, but we were showing some of the mares that we had and stuff. So
Yeah. Well, I got to say, this is such a beautiful area. I noticed that going through the different little towns, that there's a lot of tourism here as well. A lot of RV parks and a lot of fly fishing and that sort of thing. Maybe even some hunting. I noticed that there was a lot of signs that said no hunting on this property.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe you have some trespassers sometimes.
We've had people hunting on our property.
Oh, my goodness.
Asking.
Without permission.
Right.
We don't mind hunters. We just
Right.
don't want them without permission.
Right, yeah.
And we've got the livestock out there. They
And
don't
your
know,
dogs
Yeah,
and-
they
yeah.
don't know
Us.
where we're going to be, where our livestock is going to be.
Right,
So
right.
it's like,
Yeah. Have you done any of that, like any fishing or hunting, that sort of thing? I was just with a hunter up in the mountains. Yeah.
We've never hunted ourselves without a camera.
Okay.
Or cameras.
Okay.
But we like to eat it.
Yeah.
We admit that.
Yeah. Do you have some friends who do that? You do some trading and stuff?
Our dad used to. And,
Okay.
And now it's our cousin.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we get the meat.
Yeah. I had an uncle that did a lot of hunting, and that was nice. When we would go to his place, we would
get the good.
eat a lot of game meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even bear and that sort of
yes.
thing. Yeah. Moose, pretty good.
Oh, it is.
really.
Oh yeah. Moose is my favorite. Moose is absolutely my favorite.
Well, we love the moose, but we also love the pronghorn deer.
Oh, pronghorn. Oh, so that's a deer, not an antelope?
It is an antelope.
Oh, it's an antelope. Okay, all right. Yeah, I've seen some of those like in Wyoming before. Kind of on the grasslands. You'll see them off the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
That's Shiloh.
Yeah, we had to do a lot of wrangling before this to separate the dogs so that they would
Be quiet.
yeah, be a little bit more quiet. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I was wondering if you could speak a little bit about your why you were interested in my project, for instance, because this is kind of out in the sticks here, and I really wanted to actually talk to people like you who are living, rurally. I was wondering what attracted you to my project.
It's just because we're interested in other people who are also trans.
Okay.
So it's just
Finding
like-minded, like people. It's just.
Yeah, because we grew up thinking we were about the only ones.
Okay. Yeah.
We didn't know that other people like us even existed. Hardly.
Yeah. And you're a little bit older.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We're much older than
Yeah.
most.
Do you want to say like how old you are?
Well, we're in the upper 60s.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm in my early mid 50s. So yeah.
But we started late with the transition.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
When you say transition, what do you mean by that? For you, for yourself?
Medical.
Medical
Okay.
transition.
Because we were always pretty much socially
Okay.
that way.
Mm.
But medically, we decided to transition in about 65. Was when we,
Well, yeah,
when we started.
Yeah. We were 65
Okay.
when we started medical.
And when did you start, I guess, socially transitioning? Is that been the long arc of your life?
Pretty much.
Pretty much?
Yeah.
We didn't tell people,
Yeah.
but we lived the life of who we felt we were.
Yeah.
We,
The way we dressed, the
dressed,
way we what things we did.
yeah. It's
What would distinguish you between how you lived and more like a country woman? Somebody who's maybe a ranch, lives on a ranch, a wife of a rancher, that sort of thing.
well, that would be hard to
Yeah.
tell because a lot of women do the things, but
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
But we never. Most of them would go back and forth between wearing a dress,
Sure,
and,
okay.
and things like that.
Like to church on Sunday
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah.
We could never
Okay.
do that. We never did any of the makeup. We never,
Right.
never shaved body hair.
Okay, yeah, right.
Except we had short hair.
Yeah, we had short hair. Always had short hair.
Even when you were very young?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
From
Since
the
we were-
time we were 5 years old.
Yeah.
That must have been unusual.
Yeah, I think we were kind of
Yeah.
unusual. We hated,
Even when I was a kid, like in the 70s, having shorter hair was unusual. Definitely.
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
and we had ponytails up until we were 5 about, and we complained about it constantly.
Mom finally cut our hair.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
She gave in.
Well, what would you say in your complaints? You just
We had excuses.
Was it her
for
trying to braid
pulled
it?
and stuff. and
okay,
complained
giving
about
you a
that.
headache or
Yeah.
something.
And we couldn't get our
Cowboy hats on.
ponytail over the cow. The cowboy hat wouldn't stay on.
Okay.
Stupid
Yeah.
ponytail. And we had to have our cowboy hats.
Okay. Yeah, I saw a picture of y'all. I did a little internet stalking. And I saw this really great picture. And I was like, wow, these folks are like cowboys, you know?
Yeah, we've been cowboys our entire lives.
Yeah. I was so excited because I've never really, hung out with like cowboys. That's so great. Because I lived above the Arctic Circle, and then I've also lived in very urban areas. So this is all new for me. Yeah. And you're actual like horse wranglers and wow. Wow, that's so cool. Do you do any other sorts of agriculture out here? Do you grow anything or hay or?
We used to, but our haying equipment broke down.
Okay.
And
Can't afford it.
can't afford to
Replace.
fix it. and,
Okay.
or replace it. So we just decided it's now pasture, all pasture, and we'll buy hay.
Okay. Have you ever had cattle out
We
here?
have cattle out
Okay.
there. There's a small herd of cattle, and we've had all kinds of other critters, but we weren't really raising them. We used to have pigs
Okay.
and
Was that
goats and
more
stuff,
for
but
your use?
It was
It
more
was a
pets.
It was what?
More
was a
pets.
pet.
Okay, pets. Okay.
Not as livestock.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we did.
We did raise piglets.
That
but-
we
yeah.
butchered and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you make like your own bacon and that sort of thing? And
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we had it butchered and we had,
Yeah.
ate our pigs.
Yeah. Would you take the animal into town to be dispatched and
Yeah,
butchered?
yeah,
Okay.
we-
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
had
did
somebody
notice in a town relatively nearby that there were a lot of those kind of services.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we have a butcher actually come out.
Oh, great.
So the cow does not even have to leave our
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
property and is
Yeah.
comfortable where it is.
Yep.
And
They don't even know it's
they don't even know
gonna
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just totally like,
Relax.
relaxed. and
Yeah,
so
I-
it's so much better.
I heard that was quite a thing to get that going because the USDA has a lot of regulations about that. So actually having a mobile unit, they have to be really careful, right?
Yeah.
And very within the law and that sort of thing. So it can be really kind of a process to get
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that through. That's great. That's great because it's a great service for y'all. Yeah, totally. Maybe a bigger operation. You could have like lots of trucks moving the animals, but if you don't have that many,
Yeah.
It makes it more difficult.
Yeah,
for
more
the
difficult.
small farm rancher.
Right, right. Cool. So do you do anything like that yourself? Like, do you make any like jerky or?
We have.
We have.
Yeah. Do any pickling, canning?
We're not very good at homemaking.
No, I'm not either, but I always want to be.
If it's in the kitchen, it's like no.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We have made our own jerky out of our beef and out of venisons.
Okay. Yeah. I bet it's really easy, pretty easy out of venison because it's such a dry
Yeah.
meat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about your trans experience. When you were younger and, you complained about your cowboy hats not fitting and then you had your haircut, how did like your peers around you what did they think about that?
They thought we were tomboys,
Yeah,
They
okay,
just called us tomboys.
and
all
we
the time.
accepted that
sure.
we could get by, and live our lives with being labeled something that we really weren't, but that was okay.
Okay. And
Better, better than being girls.
at the time you knew that you weren't exactly tomboys?
Well, it's hard. We always felt like we were not girls, or not, at least not normal
Yeah.
girls.
So normal was the
Normal,
word. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
We always felt like we should have been born boys.
Okay.
We just thought we were the only ones that thought we should have been born
Yeah.
boys, but we really thought we should have been born boys.
Right. Yeah, I imagine that. I mean, this is a beautiful area. I mean, what a great way to grow up and, to be around horses and doing all this great work, But also I'm imagining it's a little bit isolating in terms of like information or community around certain issues like being trans, for instance.
Definitely.
Well, it was, especially back then, because
Yeah.
we were growing up in a whole different type of world.
Yeah.
There was
This
no internet.
This was what, like 50s, 60s?
Oh, yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
There was no such thing of internet or trying to search and find out that you weren't an oddball.
Right.
Or, I mean, as bad as an oddball.
Right.
So, we were kind of felt like we were the only ones that were feeling this way, until probably 20 years ago, we finally, things started showing up. Other people were transgender,
Right. Right.
but
And we thought, gosh, we'd like to do that.
Yeah.
but no.
Once you know it's possible.
Yeah.
Right?
But we still thought, nah, it's not possible for us,
Okay.
We assumed that we couldn't afford it.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We didn't have decent insurance at all. And we kept thinking, well, if we could get to 65, maybe, Medicare would help.
Yeah. So this is a really nice place and it's really beautiful. So still, even with that, you are living on limited means.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very. It's not, ranching is not a money-making
Right.
business at all.
Right.
Nope.
So it's just that that's where we could be who we wanted to be. And so we always gravitated from the time we were real young to working with animals and not spending time with a lot of people.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
So
Yeah.
Okay. So being isolated for you meant that you could live your life more fully.
Yeah,
Right.
we could be who we were.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
'cause
beautiful.
Otherwise, you work for somebody else, they're going to have a dress code or they're going to,
Right.
you have to,
expect you to do something.
and that, we were uncomfortable.
Right. Or call you ma'am or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Oh, we still
no.
get that. We still get that on the phone.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh my God.
Oh, no. Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those honorifics that come in as you get older. Ugh. It can be real jarring. Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you so you lived more on the ranching life so you could have more privacy in your lives and be who you are. Do you have any community out here? Other trans people or maybe even queer people?
There
People
is.
part of the LGBT community,
We just recent,
Okay.
joined,
Like within the past year?
Yeah.
just
Okay.
not even that long ago.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, we found that there was an LGBT group here in the town that
Okay.
we live near. And so we thought, maybe we should, meet some of them.
Yeah.
But we tend
They
to.
might be similar to you.
There's as far as we know, there are no other trans men.
Okay.
But there is a trans woman.
Okay.
So we have met her. And she's awfully brave, and I worry about her.
Okay.
Because, it's harder for them than it is for the other way because
we
we
fly
can
under the radar as tomboys.
tomboys.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
right.
hard for those that are transitioning the other way
It's
to hide under some kind of radar, the radar of
Yeah.
why are you?
Yeah.
although she's not even trying.
No, she is not.
She's brave.
She's just whatever.
yeah,
Yep.
she's just gonna
She's
do it.
she's very bold.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Speaking of that, do you or other people that you know take precautions for your safety? Because I'm assuming that this is a very conservative area,
is.
and maybe some people would be upset
it's very
about you
conservative.
being yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very conservative, and we haven't fully come out
Oh yeah.
Into our community.
into our community.
Well, yeah. The concept of coming out it doesn't really apply to trans people as much because some trans people they transition and they want more privacy, right? They do want to live stealthily.
Yeah.
You know, and not broadcast it so much, especially if you're living in a place like this. Yeah.
It would be hard for us to transition unnoticed. I would
Yeah.
say.
Right. You've been here for
We've been here
35
for-
years.
Yeah. And people
It's
know
a
us. They
small
recognize us in town.
Yeah.
But so if we don't grow much of a beard, facial hair or anything yet. But I mean, it's coming in, and if we decide, well, okay, we're just going to leave it, people would be like, What the?
Yeah.
Twins have some facial hair here.
Yeah.
It would be very strange.
Have you started medically transitioning? So by medically, I mean like hormone therapy, talk therapy, surgeries, that sort of thing.
We haven't done anything but hormone and top surgery.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah. Great.
I'd like to change my voice, but probably will never get to that. But
Yeah. Sometimes you just get what you get.
maybe if the rest of me looks more correct, it won't matter. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. I have a higher voice as well. I mean, I could probably use a deeper voice if I wanted to, but it's the voice I've had my whole life, so I'm not super worried about it. But then, you get other things like I've gone bald.
Yeah. Oh, we're going a little bald.
Yeah.
It's thinning up there.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Well, you got that nice little triangle of a slightly receded hairline. I think it's distinguished actually. Yeah, and you have that nice little gray there.
Yeah,
It's cool.
we'll see how long anything that lasts.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. It gets thinner and thinner.
Right.
So, transitioning as older adults, have you noticed any physical changes like becoming more muscular or becoming more tight in your tendons and sinews? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we work out, but not enough. But we do like to try to work on building
Muscle
our
building.
upper body muscles and
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Do you actually like lift weights and stuff?
Yeah.
Because I'm imagining that having a life on a ranch, you'd be doing a lot of work anyway.
It
We
is.
do, but it's not the same.
Okay.
It doesn't really work you.
Okay.
It doesn't help build the muscle look.
Okay.
I mean, we might those muscles might be stronger, but they're not building so that it becomes more obvious.
Okay, so you want the
we
visual.
We want a little more visual. The strength is great.
Sure. Well, if
But-
you can handle a
yeah.
horse, you must be really strong because we're all kind of smaller people here.
yeah.
But you all must be really strong for being, smaller people.
Well,
I don't
our
know.
dad's always saying, "You're stronger than you think."
Oh yeah, yeah. So you really want the visual.
A little bit.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to be a
Real muscle.
muscle bound
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
type
just-
guy, but I do want a little bit more muscle so that it becomes a little bit more obvious.
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be
that'd
nice.
be cool.
So yeah,
That'd be cool.
it would be nice to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been on testosterone, by the way?
Well,
Three-
3 years.
Yeah, 3
but
years.
1 year, the second year in, I could almost scratch that year.
Yeah, that was
Because of during COVID and everything, we were not getting tested as often.
Okay.
And our testosterone level got so low.
Oh, they didn't give
Yeah.
you refills?
they gave us
refills,
but
they had us on a weird. Our doctor didn't know really anything about how to help
Okay.
transition, and when our testosterone first shot up,
it went way
it was
over.
like a panic. Oh no, that's way too high, So she had us then taking half the testosterone she originally had us on,
Okay.
and then every 3 weeks instead of every 2 weeks. And by
Okay.
the time we went several, about 9 months or something through the year and had it checked, it was so low. I was like, well, that was a lot of help.
Okay.
This is like,
Well, that's great though that she was like kind of working with you and
Yeah.
checking on it and that sort of thing.
she was
Yeah.
willing to work with
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
even though she
Didn't
had
know.
never done
Yeah.
anything like it.
Because
She was.
it is, it's not exactly specialized care. I mean, you can go to an endocrinologist, but general practitioners can deal with this. They just have to educate themselves a little bit more.
A lot of them are
want to.
nervous. Yeah, they don't
they
want
don't.
to.
Right,
So
right. Especially here, I would assume that that's more difficult. How did you access healthcare out here? Because I'm from, usually from the cities, and even in cities, sometimes it's difficult.
yeah.
Well, we just asked our
Regular.
doctor.
Okay,
And
the
she was
person
like,
you've been
Yep.
seeing for a
Yeah.
long time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she said she'd be glad to help.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
That's
we were
sweet.
like,
Yeah.
that was all well and good for a while until she was leaving practice, and so we had
Okay.
to find new.
Did she
doctors.
retire or just move?
No, she was moving. Well, she was getting married and
Okay.
moving elsewhere.
I think
guess,
she
or something.
started working over in Kalispell.
Okay, so just a transition in her
Yeah.
life as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
So where are you able to access care now? I mean, you don't have to specifically say just, was that difficult then to find somebody else?
it has been, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We have one lady in town that will happily help transgender people.
Good.
But her practice is small, so she can't take everybody.
Right.
So
Or it's hard to get like an appointment.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
And I couldn't even get one with her after Cade had already been with her for, I don't know, a couple months.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get an appointment. So I just had to pick another doctor in the same
Okay.
Clinic.
Oh, the
clinic.
same practice.
Yeah,
but-
same clinic.
Okay.
And right away he just said, I can't help you with that.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm like, okay.
Okay.
But he did refer me to a endocrinologist
Okay.
in another town. So
Do you have to go kind of far afield?
yeah, it's like
Oh.
68 miles.
Okay. Anyway, so we were talking a little bit about, how you've accessed healthcare and that sort of thing. You're having more trouble because one local doctor just has limited time. But how is it working for you with this new doctor?
So far, so good.
So far, so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Have they sort of regulated your levels to
They
within
haven't-
the standard?
Yeah, she hasn't changed them yet. But she's busy trying to make sure that all the other blood work
Okay.
is acceptable.
Okay.
you know.
So liver enzymes. That
all
sort of thing.
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
other blood work, the
Yeah.
hematocrit and all
Yeah.
that.
Do you think they might be taking more time because you're older as well, possibly?
It could be.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I haven't been with her hardly, and
Okay.
she wants to.
Sure.
I think make sure everything stays level and
Yeah.
doesn't keep changing.
So she wants to maybe establish a baseline.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's it's in the proper position for males,
Mm-hmm.
but how they always want to fall back on the female. No,
I know they
No,
do
this is
that.
not right.
You're absolutely right. When they do like bone density studies and stuff like that, they always refer to the research done on the birth gender.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like when you take hormones, your bone structure changes. So you can't rely on that old data.
All right.
Yeah, it's really it's infuriating. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there are some things to look out for, definitely. Because hormones are strong things. You do have to think about like cholesterol, high blood pressure. Kind of the things that older men would be going through.
Yeah.
Right. But it is definitely possible for doctors who are often, they're very smart people to not re-educate, but educate themselves further
Right.
about these issues. Yeah, totally. Even out here, which
yeah.
is really rural. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have colleagues that they can talk to.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're able to access anything out here because, I mean, this is pretty remote.
Yeah.
Pretty
is,
remote.
Yeah, when we first started, we thought, how are we going to even get somebody to do this
Right.
for us?
Were you thinking, I have to go like all the way to someplace like
Yeah.
Seattle or?
Well, we didn't think we were going to have to go that far, but
Okay.
we thought we might have to go to the next closest city.
Yeah.
I mean, large city.
large city, right,
not,
right.
Not our little city.
Right. Yeah,
So,
like Spokane or Boise.
yeah,
or
something
someplace
that,
like that.
that
Yeah.
has enough people that knows what they're doing.
Right. Right.
There's a large community down in Missoula.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I always figured, well, that at least if we had to travel that far, at least there would be people that knew what they're doing.
Yeah.
But-
And I'm imagining, too, because there's a large university there, that there's probably a lot of LGBT people there in town.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's one of the larger groups down there. There
Yeah.
is a lot of LGBT people.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known some people from Missoula, and they mentioned that that's kind of a quote-unquote blue area.
Yeah, right.
A lot of Democrats,
Right.
more left-leaning or liberal or something like that. Yeah.
There are a few places like that.
Yeah, a few, yeah.
Yeah.
The West is definitely punctuated with that, in the more densely populated places.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what impresses me so much about you two, because you're still in place. A lot of people would move from a place like this into a bigger city in order to access resources, right?
Yeah.
That's some of the compromise that people make, right?
Right. Maybe eventually we'll have to if things keep going the way
Going the way
things
it
are
is.
going.
It
but-
kind of depend on our state,
Yeah.
on what their
How many
laws
laws?
they throw at us.
Yeah, right.
So-
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag too, because there's like what states do, and then also counties and municipalities, because you kind of have that hierarchy, and things can happen at a lower level of government
Yeah,
as well.
they can.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 All right, let's think about what, like, the kind of things that we can talk about. What would you two like to talk about? What would you like for other people to know about, like, your life here, or your experience of being trans as older people with less community, that sort of thing? Because people are mostly they know about people who live in the more urban areas.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're not very exciting people.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you do a lot, though. I mean,
Yeah, we
this
do, yeah.
house is full, brimming of pictures of, family and equipment. Like, what is this over here in the corner here?
That's a separator.
Oh, separator?
Yeah.
Milk
For
some-
milk?
to separate the cream.
From the
Okay,
milk and-
all right.
yeah.
So you had some dairy cows that
No,
you do that
we
with?
don't.
Okay, so...
Yeah, some of the original
Owners.
here
Okay.
had some cows that they had
Okay.
gotten that, I guess. I don't
Whether
know if
they
they
used
were
it, I don't know.
milking cows or not, but
And, you have a I think that's a wood
Yeah,
stove
it's a
over
wood
there.
stove,
Do you ever
yeah.
use that?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
when the lights go out?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
We used to use it every
morning.
morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
to cook breakfast on.
But
Every morning.
yeah, every
just
morning.
about, yeah.
You still do that every morning?
No, we
No, we're
kind of.
lazier.
Okay.
Our dad doesn't.
Oh, I'm
get-
sure you two are just so lazy. I'm sure.
Our dad doesn't get up like early like us
Anymore.
anymore.
Okay.
So-
Oh, does
so-
he still live with you?
Yes,
Yeah,
he's,
Okay.
He's 98
Yeah.
and he's still living with us.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I did notice that a younger person
that's
came
our
through.
cousin.
A cousin
Okay.
lives with us
Lives
now.
us-
He's
us
from
now.
Seattle. He's a city boy.
Okay. Okay.
But he-
learning the ranching life.
Yeah, yeah. He never felt like he belonged in Seattle.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So
Actually, I'm so glad that y'all responded to my advertisement for this project, because I did not want to go through Seattle. I'm going straight north from here across the border to
Right,
get
yeah.
home. I'm so glad that I've taken this detour. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be us.
Yeah.
we look for the dirt roads.
Yeah. If I had a bigger car or something with better clearance, I would definitely do that. When I go on the dirt roads, I always have to find the real high spots.
Right, stay.
Stay out of the ruts.
Yeah.
You're gonna get stuck.
Yeah, or they can take out your oil pan.
pan.
You know,
Oh,
get some-
yeah.
oh,
Yeah. And then because I'm staying on the high parts, I have to worry about like going off the edge, like a soft edge or something. Or if it's grassy, it's like, okay, where is the edge?
Is that's right? Yeah.
Okay, it's like a balancing act. Yeah, it's kind of funny. So I did notice that your house is just full of stuff that's Western. Like, it's almost like you could film a movie here. I mean,
I
really,
think they could.
Yeah, they really could. This would be a great spot for a movie, y'all. And you have some really beautiful chairs back here they're almost like sculptures.
Yeah.
Can you talk about those a little bit? Like, where did you get those and what they look like? Maybe you can see one in the back here. I tried to move them. Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's way in the back, but it's like a rocking chair.
Right.
And it looks like it's bent wood.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you talk about those a bit?
It's a local Amish.
Oh, the Amish.
Yeah.
Okay, you have Amish people around here.
Yeah, they have a little community
Okay.
near town, and so he builds the chairs. He now no longer does it here. They do it back where he gets the wood.
Okay.
Which is
Back
I think
east.
Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania. Yeah,
I
there's a
think so.
lot of Amish there. Mhm.
and
I've been on that road. Yeah, with all the buggies. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
yeah, this group here doesn't. They're more progressive Amish.
Okay,
So
okay.
they don't drive their buggies or anything like
Roads or anything.
motorized here.
I would imagine that would be really hard because driving up here, it was a single track, and then we were going around bends and stuff.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
imagine like having a horse and
Horse
buggy.
buggy.
That would be so dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a community further north that do still
Okay.
do a lot of horse and buggy.
They're
Okay.
up close to
Canada.
near the Canada border.
Okay. So a little bit more isolated. Even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More isolated.
Yeah,
Maybe they have less traffic.
They do.
I would hope
I
so.
think so.
I would hope
They're-
so.
They're actually on the west side of the river and lake.
Yeah.
And back in there's really nothing. Nothing
Yeah.
at all. It's-
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did notice that there were some really big, beautiful rivers around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see how, like, the fly fisher people would come in and just be like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah.
lot
The
of
big
good-
river there is a Blue Ribbon
Trout stream.
stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Steelhead? Is Steelhead over here? Or?
I think
Mostly
so.
just
There's so many different
Okay.
good fishing around
Yeah,
this
it's-
part, lakes and rivers.
Okay. Like maybe former glacial lakes or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure what's in all these lakes exactly, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. I just love it. I love fishing. I haven't tried my hand at fly fishing yet, but definitely with little lures and stuff. It's a good fun. Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys fish at all?
Well, not very
not
much. We do have some fly rods that we were trying to become fishermen.
Okay. Okay.
trying to. But our river,
In your retirement.
In our retirement, yeah.
our
we have
our
more
little
time.
river is really not the best.
Oh, you have a river
Yeah,
on
the
the
borders our
property.
ranch.
Okay.
Right
So-
against the base of that mountain.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not the
Yeah,
best,
it's kind of like
best one.
the valley is like real flat, and then woo, all of a
Yeah.
sudden
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah,
mountain.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
It's just not the best one for
Okay.
good fishing.
Sure.
It's in a way you could almost call it a creek.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's a river. But
Sure. Well, that's nice though. You've never. I'm imagining you've never had to worry about like your well running dry or something like that.
not our wells. Our streams have gone dry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Things
wow.
are changing with
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
global warming.
Tell me about that.
There's not as much snowpack in the mountains, and
Not
so
as much rain at times.
yeah, and we've had a nice bit of rain this year, and we did last spring. But
I did notice that the West was a lot greener than I'm used to seeing. it.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but
It can get pretty.
it can go real dry real fast.
Yeah.
You know, once we stop getting any of this little bit of rain, it can just dry up
Yeah.
Quickly.
in no time at all. And our there's not enough snowpack to melt and keep the streams, some of the streams running all year long,
Right.
like it used to. We would
Yeah.
had our water through all our streams on the property ran all year long until just about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And
So now it's more ephemeral.
Yeah, it's
and I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with the snowpack in the mountains, but it's hard to say what all has exactly caused all that.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah,
When you were younger, did you have snow-capped peaks like all year round? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
we've had snow here down here in the valley every month of the year except July.
Okay.
But it's rare.
Okay. Okay. Now are the peaks? Do they have snow on them?
there's still peaks on the higher mountains.
Oh, the higher ones. Okay.
But not on our littler.
If you rode up there, you could probably find some snow
Okay.
in little hidden
Sure, like little
dark
lenses.
shadow
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah. Some ice. Yeah.
Generally, no.
Yeah. That happens up in Fairbanks too. Like in the shadow of like some heavy forest, you'll
Yeah,
find some
right.
lenses on the ground. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was just in Oregon, and some of the very striking high peaks there, the Wallowa Mountains and the Blue Mountains and the Little Alps, I think they call them even, they still had snow on the top, and I was like, wow. Yeah, that's great.
The mountains that are in the wilderness area, it's fairly close here.
Okay.
They still have white.
Oh, great.
know.
Great. Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to that. I'm going towards Banff.
Yeah.
So, and I think probably that's high enough. Maybe they'll have
I
some.
would guess so.
I would hope
We
so.
should be running into some
Right.
snow up there.
Yeah. Wow. Have you noticed any other changes? Like, so you're saying the stream is more ephemeral now, so it kind of dries up or gets very low. How about with vegetation or fires, that sort of
Well,
thing? Frequency?
Fire
Fires?
danger has been pretty high for the last few years.
Okay.
Come summer.
Early,
Right now, it's already moderate, and you wouldn't think so by looking at it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But it is moderate already, so it won't be long
it'll be high.
that I know we're supposed to get some warm temperatures even up into the low 80s. I think this next week.
Do you ever get heat domes where the heat just stays?
Not a whole lot.
No. Okay.
Luckily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy I was just talking to yesterday, he experiences a heat dome where he lives.
Oh.
So it'll just be hot at night, way up in the mountains.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We haven't had that kind of much,
Well,
Okay.
we can consider some of the night times too warm. If it's in the 60s, that's too,
Okay.
it's too warm.
I understand. I
It
understand.
needs to be like last night. It went down to 32.
That's perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's got to start low so that the day doesn't get
Yeah.
overdone.
I hear you on that one. I love it. I love a cool night, especially I cannot sleep very well when it's warm out.
Right.
Like
That's
I just
us.
can't.
Yeah, same with us.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. But now that I'm used to the lower 48 because I've been traveling around on this road trip, going back to Alaska, I'm going to be so cold. I'm going to be such a wuss. Oh my goodness.
It won't last long.
Oh, it won't last. It lasts about a season.
Oh,
and then,
does it?
Yeah, and then after that, you kind of toughen up. Like I don't know what it is. Like your cells become more active or make more
Your
heat.
blood thins or
Yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever.
It is. So that's funny that you guys have also something similar, like a temperature range that you're really comfortable
Oh
in.
yeah,
Yeah.
our temperature range is really shallow.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it can't get this cold or it can't get this hot.
Yeah.
It's like okay, this is it.
I did notice it was really windy out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that pretty normal?
Not this much wind. It's
The
can be
storm.
some breezy, but like we have a little more breeze here than like you go into town
Yeah.
and that's very still.
Okay.
You come out to our place and you
Yeah.
got a nice little breeze.
Yeah.
But the higher winds, we don't have a lot of real high winds.
No.
Just once in a
Every
while.
once
I bet the horses love the wind though.
Oh, yeah.
Keep all the
Keeps the bugs off.
Yeah,
Horses
totally.
and cows like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I remember I was in a forested area like this once, and I don't know what it was, some big fly got me, and wow, it hurt. It hurt so badly.
Those are probably deer
Deer
flies.
flies.
Oh my goodness.
They
it was-
bite hard.
Oh, it was like instant, and I was like, it like hurt my whole arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a hard bite.
Yeah.
And they especially look
you-
for you if you get wet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
if you're near water and you've gone for a swim or
Or you're sweating.
you're
Okay.
sweating. Boy,
And man,
So just get you.
they
Okay.
take a bite out of you.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh my God, what was that? Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Do you all, or maybe when you were younger, maybe not now, I don't know. Do you ever go swimming in the creeks or the lakes here?
Well, we
Yep.
do the river down here.
Yep.
We like to take our kayaks down there
Okay.
and go up and down the river.
Okay.
And then we have a good swimming hole.
Oh, good.
Down there.
Good. Is that like a swimming hole that people visit, like other people?
Other people do,
Yeah.
actually. They,
A few people know where it is.
the locals, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's another place further upstream that
That
most of the locals use.
Okay. A little bit
Because
bigger,
it's really
deeper.
close to the highway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
they can just drive off a little ways
Right.
and they'll
Just
be
park
right
their
there.
car.
Yeah,
and
and then
they'll
they're
be
right
at
there.
that
This
deep
one takes
hole.
them
This
quite
one-
a trip out here before they can find it.
Find it,
Yeah.
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 And then they have a walk through the forest to get down
Sure.
to it
Yeah.
off of the steep bank over there. So it's not used as much.
Well, that must be nice, though.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's not like
keeps it nice and clean.
Yeah.
No broken bottles.
Oh,
or-
yeah. No, I hope not.
I've tried visiting some hot springs, because here in the northern Rockies, there's also some volcanic activity,
Right.
and so I love that. But sometimes, the Forest Service and whatever public agency goes and inspects them, and sometimes there's E. coli, and there's like I said, broken glass, and sometimes they have to shut them down, which is unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like a natural thing that people can enjoy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up in a different town here in the state, and there were some really nice hot springs that
Okay.
we loved to go to. But in those days, it wasn't fixed up for public,
Right.
really.
Right.
No
Did-
charges.
And nobody knew
Yeah.
hardly about it. So.
Right. Just local knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it was lots nicer back in those days.
Did you, I've been to some primitive, what they call primitive hot springs, and what some people do who use it a lot, they will make like a little rock area that keeps some of the warmer water in if it's like on a river, and you can have different temperatures of pools if you
Yeah.
do that. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can kind of work your way up, or
Depending on how warm or cold you want it.
exactly, or you can dip yourself in the river if you're crazy, if you're a polar
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah, even in the summer, the river is cold.
Yeah, oh yeah,
It's very cold.
I know.
So, yeah.
I know. My dog, I've tried to get him to go into water, but he's used to ice and then really cold summer river water because it's from ice.
Yeah, right.
It was only when he saw some water dogs, some Portuguese water dogs, jumping into a river in New Jersey, in a giant dog park they have there, that he was like, oh, I can do this too? And then he jumped in and was splashing around. Yeah, it was so sweet watching him learn something,
From watching others.
Yeah, it's so direct. Learning how to play. He still won't dunk his head though, but he'll get in there.
Well, we have some dogs that don't want to get their backs wet. They'll go in so deep, and then they're just like, no, I'm not going any farther.
Right.
I
Right.
don't want to swim.
Right.
So-
And at least one of your dogs is really furry too.
Yeah.
I thought it was a sheep. Yeah. That's probably done on purpose, I would imagine, because they're shepherd dogs, right? So
Yeah,
they
he-
kind of blend in.
Yeah,
Probably.
He really would blend in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Great Pyrenees, they kind of look like sheep too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So, do you ever train your dogs to help with, your cattle and stuff?
The border collies
Yeah.
are the ones that the two border collies do help, and
We didn't train
we didn't
them.
do any
They just-
specific training.
They just did
but
it.
it's natural.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I know they sometimes do that with people too, like nip at the
oh,
heel
yeah, yeah.
and.
Our dogs, for some reason, never found that interesting.
No.
so
Okay.
much, but,
Okay.
but
Well, I'm talking more like city dogs.
city dogs.
They don't have anything to do.
They don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, yeah. So they go after little
Yeah.
kids and the
Yeah,
adults.
right. They-
yeah. Or other dogs.
Or other dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
But our border collies had livestock around, so they
Okay.
only think of livestock.
Wow, wow.
We have
They-
one of the border collies thinks he's a chicken wrangler.
Oh, a chicken wrangler.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He'll
bet-
herd chickens.
I bet the roosters love that.
And we have a funny video of him
Oh, really?
with a rooster.
Oh, like a standoff?
Well, he's going around in circles around a tree trying to herd the rooster.
Oh, okay.
But-
Yeah. Well, they have those. I forget what they're called, but they're
Spurs?
like the
Yeah.
spurs. Those
Yeah.
are dangerous.
Oh yeah.
They're not fun.
No, I had a rooster come after me once, and luckily I was wearing glasses because he went right for my eyes.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, it was in a coop, and I did not know. I did not know what I was doing. I did not know what. But luckily I was wearing glasses.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, we've never had one become going for eyes or anything, but, we've dealt with them and,
Oh yeah.
had to pick up a cardboard tube once and I smacked the
Right.
rooster and I
Right.
thought I killed it.
Okay.
Just knocked him out.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes they become soup too.
Too much trouble.
Yeah.
We've had a cat save us from a rooster.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have been a bruiser of a cat.
Yeah, he thought he was tough. Yeah, yeah. The rooster came at us, and
We thought the dogs
We
would
thought the
help.
dog would do something.
Oh.
Did not help.
Oh.
The dog didn't do anything, and the cat came running in and just chased the rooster away.
All right.
Good for you, cat.
Yeah, excellent. So speaking of like animals and stuff, do you ever get like wildlife around here? I'm imagining that you do.
Oh, yeah.
Like bears and stuff. Yeah.
We got
Bears, mountain lion.
elk, deer,
Wolves.
Wow.
We got pretty much
Everything.
Everything.
Wow. So how do you keep you and your livestock and your dogs safe out here?
The animals are more afraid of
Us.
us than we are of them.
Okay.
So they just,
Okay.
if we show up, they're gone. You're lucky if you get to actually see
Okay, yeah.
some of those things, you know. So
We won't leave our dogs out at night,
No.
though.
Okay. Yeah.
They come in for the night when we're sleeping, because that's when, if anything,
predators might.
might come right up near the house.
Sure,
and
sure.
a
Like some wolves or
yeah,
something.
wolves,
Yeah.
mountain lion, grizzly bear or something.
Yeah.
If we have the dog outside, people's dogs have been known to be killed
Right.
during the night more
Right.
if they leave the dogs out. So our
Right.
dogs all come in.
Yeah, good.
So,
Yeah, sometimes that happens in Alaska too. Even the eagles will sometimes carry away
Small.
people's pets.
Pets,
Cats,
Yeah,
especially.
yeah, or smaller dogs.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Do you get eagles
Yep.
and
Yeah.
bigger birds here?
We have an eagle nest on the ranch. Down
Oh,
on
really?
south- yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And so we watched them raise a lot of.
Oh, great. Do they come back every year?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Use the
wonderful.
same nest, although they had to rebuild their nest a couple of times because of wind damage
sure.
and stuff.
Takes the nest out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it took a whole tree down that they had. But they just
What kind of
moved the
trees
nest.
do they nest in? Because, I mean, there's mostly like pines and firs around
It's-
here.
We have cottonwood,
Cottonwood.
too.
Okay.
And they've got some. They've usually used cottonwood, but they've got some nests in some big. I think it's a spruce, isn't it?
I don't know.
Down there now.
So mostly cottonwood.
Yeah, a lot of cottonwood.
Yeah, because the branches on those kind of go down, whereas
Mm-hmm.
the cottonwood would kind of go up.
Yeah, they spread out more.
Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, more like East Coast trees where they
Yeah.
have a big canopy.
Yeah, right.
Although I gotta say, goodness gracious, there are some big conifers around here.
Oh, yeah.
Just even outside your house, I was like, oh my goodness. Because I'm used to the trees up in Fairbanks, which are really little because
You have no growing season.
we have no growing season. Right, so they stay really little. And we also have permafrost. Do you have permafrost up here?
No.
Okay, not quite high enough.
No.
Yeah.
I think our dad's coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Jumping down.
Okay, let me save this real quick. Let's take a break, actually.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.